And for more on the big week ahead and what we may not see, Republican Congressman and member of the House Armed Services Committee, Michael Waltz, joins us. He, a congressman, we also booked a Democratic congressman, but he's sick, lost his voice. We wish him well. First of all, your view. Republicans, do you think, are they being shut out by Congressman Schiff for the witnesses that you want to see testify?
Well, Eric, you know, this is frustrating and continues to be frustrating. These trials should have been public all along, but that now that they are going to be public doesn't mean that this can turn into a show trial. I'd point out that, one, President Clinton's counsel was allowed to be present, was allowed to question people back during the Clinton proceedings, and actually was allowed to call 15 witnesses to the stand and actually to ask questions. So I don't think we still are not seeing the minority rights that we should, and we still aren't seeing the president get the representation that he should have. And the media and the Democrats keep going, you know, they want to talk substance, and not process. But process matters here. Due process matters. But isn't the issue? This is about the Constitution. And this is. But isn't that excuse me for interrupting? But isn't that the substance of the allegations that the Democrats have and say against the president, saying that he broke the law? He, of course, saying that that is not true, that there was no quid pro quo. Look, I think at the end of the day, this is a lot of noise. The president was transparent from the beginning. He released the transcript. And what this is going to come down to was he asking a foreign leader about corruption and whether the vice president abused his official position to enrich his family? And we aren't even talking about China yet, and how Hunter Biden flew on Air Force 2 and weeks later received over $1 billion into a hedge fund for which he had no experience and still holds the equity to this day. Was he asking about that, or was he doing as the Democrats allege? At the end of the day, 235 members have to decide if that is treason, bribery, or high crime and misdemeanor, and I don't think it is, yet I can't get access to all of the information until Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi says so. Well, what if Schiff turns the request for Hunter Biden down? What would you want to ask Hunter Biden if you had the chance? Well, I want to get into how the vice president how he came across this money. I think there are a number of things to look into. How one thing happened with official meetings when the vice president went over on Air Force 2, and then just a short time later, his son and the stepson of Kerry are receiving billions of dollars from the Bank of China. And let me point out, Eric, I was just down in Panama on an official trip down there looking at the Panama Canal, for which our entire economy is dependent and our military plans are dependent. And guess what? The Chinese are building ports on both sides of the Panama Canal. They're investing all over Latin America. The Monroe Doctrine in some ways is under serious threat. And yet, you know, we have these kind of investments into the son of a vice president. I think this is absolutely worth looking into, yet the mainstream media and the Democrats just want to say nothing to see here. So at the end of the day, that transcript is going to come down to what was the president's intent, and that's for us to determine. Adam Schiff says he thinks that's a sham investigation. Let me read you his statement. Quote, "This inquiry is not and will not serve, however, as a vehicle to undertake the same sham investigation into the Bidens or 2016 that the president pressed Ukraine to conduct for his personal political benefit or to facilitate the president's effort to threaten, intimidate, and retaliate against the whistleblower who courageously raised the intel." I mean, do you think these questions are a sham, and do you think also the whistleblower should testify? Let me tell you what's a sham. This is the Intelligence Committee, and yet it has turned into the Impeachment Committee. We are facing serious threats from the Chinese. Russia is still very dangerous. We still have Islamic extremism. Meanwhile, by the way, I'm on the Armed Services Committee. We don't have a defense bill yet. For the first time in 58 years, we may not have one. The military is, as we roll into Veterans Day tomorrow, the military is but 2 weeks from running out of money. So the men and women overseas deserve better from Washington. The veterans who put their lives on the line deserve better from Washington, who still aren't getting the care that they need. And let me tell you what else is happening. They may eventually get some money, but it'll be last year's money, meaning we can't do anything new. No new ships, no new research and development, no new weapons to keep up with what the Chinese are doing in artificial intelligence. That's what's a sham, and that is what our veterans and the people overseas deserve better, and their families deserve better who are waiting at home for them to have the equipment and the training and the new research and development that they deserve and that they need.
And a very special note on that, as we are about to have Veterans Day, and also for you, Congressman, who currently serve in the Army Reserve.
Yeah.
We thank you for your military service to our country.
Well, thank you, Eric. And I would just say, everyone, please thank the families as we roll into Veterans Day. I hope we can set all of this aside for a day to honor the free air that we all breathe because of their sacrifice.
Absolutely.